Hey guys, it's Tiana and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I heavily debated on whether or not I wanted to film this. I know a lot of iPhone videos are either iPhone unboxings and then what's on my iPhone, or iPhone unboxing plus setup, or just what's on my iPhone but for newer phones. The iPhone that I have, I've had for a little over a year, maybe almost 2 years now, but it's done me really well, and recently I've reorganized my iPhone, so I kind of wanted to show you guys the way that I have my phone organized in order to keep me productive and help me find everything easily, as well as what apps I recommend, my most used apps, and just how I keep myself organized. I also have some products that I'm going to be unboxing, like new phone cases, lens protectors, we're going to be putting those on, as well as this cool magnet that I use for my phone, which helps stabilize my phone in the car while I'm driving. I've done, I think, 2 what's on my iPhone videos before. Maybe only one of them is actually public right now. Those would have been with my old iPhones, like the XR and I think the 12 Pro Max. Personally, my favorite phone that I've ever had was the 12 Pro Max. I like the size of it. It was really big. This phone is a little bit smaller. I actually got it as a Christmas gift when my Pro Max broke. The screen had broke on it a few times from dropping it, and when I got it repaired, it wasn't properly done. Without further ado, let's get into the what's on my iPhone. I think I do want to start with the new products, I guess. So I have the lens protector for the 13 here. I previously had one of these on my phone. I had actually dropped my phone a couple of times and broke the whole thing. Like, it broke over one camera first and then the other camera. I'm actually really thankful that I had a lens protector on my phone when I had dropped it, because I have a friend who broke both lenses on her phone. She got a quote on fixing it, and I know it was like over a couple $100 just to fix the camera. I want to say like close to $400 or $500. I also got a new phone case. This one is nice and sparkly. I've almost always had sparkly phone cases except for this one. The reason I want to change my cover is just this bottom part here is kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that. It pulls out there. It's just kind of detached itself from the phone. But if I get a new phone case, I always have to make sure I get one of these. Honestly, I don't mind the look of it. They have a small and a big one. I get them from the dollar store, but they just stick onto the back of the phone. You cannot get it off, and it's just like a super heavy duty magnet. I have on the dashboard of my car, there is a really heavy duty magnet, so I just kind of stick my phone onto that, and I found this has been the best. All right, so let's start with the lens protector. This phone is in the dark blue color. It looks almost black, but I think it's navy blue. And I actually have to double check the storage amount on it. I want to say it's like 200 and something gigabyte, but it honestly could, maybe it's only 128 gigabytes, but I've never had any storage issues yet. Oh, I'm just cleaning the lens, and around the lens there's some like dust and stuff on my phone. Just cleaning the lens area. There's actually an alcohol prep wipe, which I'm gonna clean my whole phone with, and the camera, just because I'm switching the case. I did actually clean my phone the other day when I took off the lens, but I'm just gonna give it another wipe. It doesn't hurt. So I'm using the alcohol wipe. I did pick these products up from my local Walmart. I believe the lens cover was only like $10. The case was around no more than 30. So the phone is wiped down. I guess there are instructions. I am just gonna take a quick peek to see if there's anything super important I should know, but I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so after the alcohol wipe, you use the cloth to dry it. And then there's a fine fiber sticker, I guess it says. Okay, so here's what the lens cover looks like. I'm going to peel off the white tab without touching the adhesive. Grab both sides to line this over the camera. There's a little bit of bubbles around it. I'm just trying to push the bubbles out. Yeah. It's literally perfect. You can't even tell there's a cover on it. All right, that was super easy. You just gotta be careful, make sure there's no dust or anything behind it. Try your best to get the air bubbles out, but honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's not too hard, and I highly, highly recommend having a lens cover on your iPhone if you don't. Now we're going to open this case. Here's the case. Oh shoot, I actually don't know if I like this case. I didn't realize it's one of the ones that have the first layer and then the second layer. I just don't like anything that's kind of like hard to get on and off. Yeah, this is like one of those double layer cases. So you got the hard like shell on the inside and then the soft one on the outside. I think you have to put both on. So step 1, separate the hard shell frame from the outer frame by pushing the back corners. The hard shell is now on the phone, and I think now we just put the soft shell on. Case is on. It does make my phone feel a little bit bulkier, which honestly I don't mind. There's a cover here for the ringer, so it covers it if you'd like, and then you can flick it, whatever, and then close it again, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's a nice thick case. Feels really heavy duty, and it does come up around the camera to protect it, so I have no worry about my camera being broken at all now with the lens protector and then that extra protection around there. Last thing that I have to do is just put on the magnet. This is a $3.50 set. It actually comes with the 2 magnets and then the piece that you can put in your car. This is like a vent adapter one. This isn't the one that I use. Like I said, I have one that sticks right on my dash, so it's stuck there like almost with super glue, it feels like. I know that won't come off on me. I have been using the bigger one, but I think for this phone, just because the case is so pretty, I'm going to use the smaller magnet. Like I said, they're really heavy duty magnets, so it will still work and have the same effectiveness either way. So I got the adhesive lifted, so I'm just gonna peel that off. And this is going to stick right to the back of my phone. I didn't put it directly in the middle, I put it a little bit lower down just because you got to think of where you want your phone to sit on the dash, and I don't want it to be like too far down, if that makes sense. There's the magnet on the back of my phone, new sparkly phone case, and we're all good to go. Now for the juicy part, we're going to jump into what is on my iPhone. I will screen share so that you guys can see everything that I'm looking at. So when you first turn on my phone, my screensaver is Tupac right now. If you guys can't tell, I mean, I'm obsessed. My wallpaper varies obviously, but right now that is what I'm feeling. So the only widget that I actually keep on my home screen is the little weather icon there. I like to be able to tell the high and the low and the current temperature. When you unlock my phone, the first thing that you see, I have the settings app, my bank app, which is Scotiabank, Instagram, Spotify, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, and Visco. Those would be my most used social media apps. For the most part, I have them there just for easy accessibility. I can just use them whenever, wherever. I don't have to scroll through my phone to look for them. They're right there. And then the big widget that I have is my Spotify, which is my music app. So if I was in the middle of listening to something, get out of the car and get back in the car, I can easily resume my music. And I have clock, which is super handy for setting my alarm clocks or timers, which I do pretty often. I use my phone as an alarm clock, not a standard alarm clock, which I find is pretty common nowadays. Next, of course, we have YouTube, calendar, camera, photos, notes, and then I have navigation. Recently, I started naming my folders with emojis. I find it takes away from like so much clutter and so many words on the screen. You guys will see when I get to the next page of folders. In there, I have 2 types of maps, Google Maps and then Apple Maps. I use both interchangeably, just depending on where I'm getting my directions from. If I have to Google something on Safari and then it takes me to Maps, it automatically takes you to Google Maps. I have Find My in there just because that is like a navigation app, as well as Compass. And then I make sure down below in my little, I guess that's called an island, I think, I have phone, Safari, FaceTime, and then messages, of course. If you swipe to the left of my phone, I have my calendar, which would tell me my events for the day, and then I have another calendar, which I will talk more in depth about. This is my calendar where I keep track of my YouTube schedule as well as my work schedule. I also have my banking. If you guys are anything like me, you have multiple bank accounts, so my main checkings account, which is the one you guys can see right now, I keep very little money in it unless I'm actually planning to spend it or I know I have bills coming out. I have a few different savings accounts, so that is where my money is actually sitting. I do not only have $8 to my name. And then I have Set More, which is actually an app that I use to keep track of all my lash clients. If you guys didn't know, I am a lash tech. Yeah, that is another way just to keep my calendars and everything organized in one spot, so I don't need to check every single calendar every single day to see what I have on for the day. The main calendar would have things like dentist appointments, plans with friends, doctor's appointments. Yeah, I like to be able to view my calendars all there, as well as I normally have the weather app there as well. I just removed it because it says my exact location. So then if we swipe to the right, we have the App Store and contacts, which that is just kind of random. I feel like that doesn't really fit into a folder, but they're still important apps. They're just not used as often, so I don't really need them on my main page. I have all my apps here sorted in folders with emojis, like I told you guys. I find the emojis take away from like kind of the hectic feeling. I don't need to see so many words on the page. I just kind of know how the folders are sorted by emojis. So the first folder that we have is weather. In the weather folder there, I have the weather network and then just the weather app. If you guys don't know, the weather network app actually tells you the weather up to 14 days, whereas I think the weather, like the regular app, is only either 7 or 10 days. But yeah, I find both apps, they have different features, especially in the summertime when you're trying to like pick a good beach day. This would be like social medias. So besides my main social medias that I use super often, why do I have Facebook twice? That is weird. Anyway, the next folder here is my social media folder. So it is social medias that I use, but not often enough that they need to be on my main homepage when I open my phone. This is like my social media and lifestyle. We have Facebook, Netflix, Pinterest, Messenger, Google Home, Podcasters, Thread, SoundCloud, and then Prime Video. Those are the main apps that are in this folder, the only ones that I'm going to talk about today. But my favorite apps in here definitely have to be Pinterest and I guess Messenger, Facebook too, which I'm still confused right now why I'm seeing Facebook in this folder and on my main homepage. Pinterest is super awesome. Like if you ever have an idea and you want to see it visualized, you can literally search anything on Pinterest. I use Pinterest oftentimes as like a form of Google. Next one is labeled with a money kind of emoji, but this folder is used to pay my bills as well as just like anything kind of financial related. And here obviously I have wallet, I have Scenes points, which since I bank with Scotiabank, I have the ability to collect Scenes points. Whenever I make purchases, I get Scenes points. Points can be rewarded for money. They can also be used towards things like purchases at any Scenes movie theaters like Cineplex, or Scenes restaurants like Montana's, Kelsey's, and the list goes on. I have Coho, which is one of the credit cards that I have. I have my Rogers, which that is who my phone is through, so that is where I go to pay my phone bill. Klarna, Affirm, Sezzle. So all of those are either like borrowing apps, I guess, if you make a purchase on any of the websites where you can pay in 4 payments or build credit, stuff like that. And then I have PC Optimum, so I also collect PC points. I have my card and account details there. Esso, where I get gas, they collect PC points, as well as places like No Frills. Next folder is my mail folder. I have 3 different mail apps, quite a few different emails, a school email, a personal email, a business email. So my next folder is my film and video folder. This folder is almost solely used for YouTube purposes. We have Canva, Fonto, Airbrush, Lens Buddy, Google Photos, PixArt, Telepromoter, Blankbox, CapCut, iMovie, and GarageBand. So on my phone, these most used apps, and what I'm going to recommend to you guys if you are YouTubers or content creators of any sort, Canva, Fonto, and PixArt are extremely helpful. I find Fonto is a really good text add-on or even PNG maker. Fonto is one of the main apps I use to make my thumbnails, as well as if you are wanting to write out text and take away the background so you can overlay it on something. Fonto is a great app to do that as well. Canva can do lots for you in terms of video graphics, photo editing, brochure making. PixArt as well I use for thumbnails. Google Photos is awesome because I've been backing up my photos for a really long time from different devices. Teleprompter isn't an app I use super often, but it is actually really helpful, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about it. If you wanted to film a video and you have a script that you need to read, you're actually able to type the script, pick how fast you want the script to roll by as you're reading, and then you press record, and then what you have written will roll by on the screen for you, so you're able to read it as well as record yourself at the same time. Lens Buddy is kind of the same idea. It's like a self-timer photo app, so you can take 100 photos without even touching your phone. Yeah, but this is kind of my YouTube outlet. Next, this is my productivity kind of folder. So in here I have those 2 calendar apps that I talked to you guys about, TimeTree and Setmore. TimeTree is my YouTube and work schedule planner, and then Setmore is my Lash client planner. I find Setmore very helpful because when I put clients into the app, I'm actually able to send emails to them. It automatically sends an email saying this is when your appointment is, it's confirming your time, make sure you're there. It sends the information directly to the customer without you having to do much besides input all their information. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. This was a look at last week's clients, the times, how long the appointments were going to take. You can use this for any kind of service you offer, whether it's lashes or nails or massages. I'm not sure what kind of businesses you guys are running. As well as TimeTree. Honestly, I'm a sucker for organization and kind of knowing what my week looks like before it actually takes place. With my work schedule and then video schedule, I like to schedule and organize things color coded. Here we also have Linktree, which I use to organize my different links for different social medias. I have YT Studio, which is YouTube Studio. It's like the content creator section of YouTube. I have my subscriber count where I can check my subscriber count accurately. You can also do that on YouTube Studio. It's just nice to get screenshots of your growth as it happens, subscriber count. So And then I have files in there just for when I airdrop things back and forth from my computer. Okay, next I have shopping. I'm not gonna go too much in depth with this folder, but I do have it organized with all of the like online shopping apps I would use pretty consistently. The most used one obviously is going to be Amazon and then Garage. I also have Shop in here. That one actually tracks certain shipments that are eligible through this app, so I can see when my product is going to arrive. Next, the pizza emoji means food. I got my Uber Eats in here, which is definitely my most used app. I got Dairy Queen, Pizza Hut, Starbucks, Domino's, places that I collect points for. Domino's is definitely one that you should have an app for if you order Domino's. Every, I think, 6 pizzas, or every 5 pizzas, the 6th one is free. Next, the little airplane one means traveling. So in here I have apps that I would use when I am out of town. So any hotel booking sites or parking apps. It's nice to just have all my travel stuff in one area. Next, the folder with the books. That would be my school folder. We got calculator, classroom, docs, and just a bunch of apps that I would use if I was in a classroom. I am on a gap year, so a lot of these apps haven't been used recently besides calculator, but I mean, I use calculator on a daily basis, but I feel like it fits in well with this folder, so I keep it there. A+ is a app that I would recommend. It's like a grades kind of calculator, so you can put in all your percentages and then it will average them out for you based on like what grade weighs the most and certain things like that. Next, we have games. I'm like not gonna go through this folder at all, really. Not a lot in here. There's just like the few games that if I were in the scenario where I didn't have Wi-Fi or didn't have data or was just so bored I needed to play a game, this is the folder I would go to. As well as I do have younger siblings, and sometimes we're places where I just need them to be content for 5 minutes. Here you go, play a game on my phone. And then my last folder is just a little X emoji. This is the miscellaneous folder. It's a folder that really has no rhyme or rhythm, just apps that I barely use that I could delete, but that either came with the phone so I'm not going to, or on the off chance that I will need to use them, they are here. The HP Smart app I do use. That is my printer app, but I feel like it doesn't really fit in a category. It's not shopping, it's not YouTube, it's not video. Yeah, let's double check the storage that my phone has, because honestly I can't remember, but I feel like that's important. Yeah, so I have 128 gigabytes. I have 35 gigabytes left. I have 10,220 photos, which is unreal. And that is one thing about my phone that is a mess. Although my apps are all organized right now, my camera roll like dearly needs to be sorted through. Instagram is definitely one of my most used apps. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, it's tiana.richmond. Go follow me there. You will see things like my posting schedule, as well as questions on which videos would you guys rather see. I am Tiana Marie 328 on YouTube, and TikTok, same username. So I think that is it for today's video. If I missed anything that you guys were hoping I would touch on, please let me know in the comment section down below, because I don't mind making a part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.